may be seated. Before I introduce our guest speaker tonight, I'd like to ask that you please adhere to a few rules that are intended to respect our candidates as well as this process. With the exception of the press and our official photographer, please do not use any flash photography or any recording device that utilizes a light. Please do not display any signs or banners. And lastly, please hold all applause or any remarks until the debate is concluded. Just to let all of the candidates know as a reminder, all the microphones are on the entire debate, so they're all hot. So to introduce our guest speaker tonight, our speaker tonight is someone you all know. He's a Bay County native, a man who, before serving as our representative in Congress, spent 23 years serving this community and surrounding counties in a number of voluntary leadership roles. He knows this county and he knows this district. He's a man who shares our values and truly cares about us. Please welcome Representative Steve Sutherland.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm humbled by your applause, and it's always great to be home. I'm not a speaker tonight. I'm actually here to listen to these four wonderful individuals that are vying for our support. I just wanted to say thank you, though, to all of you that are here. Several years ago, I would have had no idea what they're experiencing right now. I know now what they know. To put your name on the dotted line, to get into the arena, as Teddy Roosevelt said, is an incredible thing. People will question your motives, they will question your words, they will twist your words. But only those who sign on the dotted line and get into the arena, as you have entered, know the heat. And so you have my utmost respect and appreciation. But I want to say to you, those that are here, thank you for being engaged. As I travel around the country, I'm amazed at the people that are disengaged with our republic. And as Franklin did say in 1787, the form of government that we've been given is a republic if we can keep it. So I say thank you to you to give up your evening away from your families to be here, to be engaged. Debates are an important part of our republic. You know, I think probably the most famous debate was clearly the Lincoln-Douglas debate. How we learned about this Illinois lawyer and how he absolutely knew the issues but had charisma in the way that he answered the questions and really took Douglas deep. And amazing experience when you read about those debates. How could we all forget, if you remember, you were old enough, you remember Ronald Reagan. You remember his debate with Vice President Mondale. And he claimed that he would not exploit his opponent's youth and inexperience when questioned about his age. And of course, many of you may remember Lloyd Benson when he was debating Dan Quayle. That was when he claimed, you know, I knew John Kennedy. John Kennedy was my friend, and you are no John Kennedy. We remember that. And why do we remember that? Well, we remember those things because not the information or the policy positions that those phrases conveyed. We remember that because it opened up a little bit of their personality. So tonight, I think it's important. It's not just what you do, it's also how you do it. Do you conduct yourself with respect and honor? I believe we need more statesmen. We need more stateswomen in places of service, both locally, state, and federal. So I applaud each of you. I pray that tonight, Tho, Jay, Thelma, Melissa, that as Jonathan prayed, that you would have clearness and clarity of mind, and that you would be able to convey to those listening tonight your heart and your policy positions on a very, very important position that is being vacated after great service to our district, and that is Representative Jimmy Petronas in the position that he vacates. So without any further ado, we turn it over to you, and I wish you all the very, very best. God bless you, and thank you for this opportunity.
All right, please welcome our debate moderator, Mr. Don Arias.
Good evening. Just have a few ground rules here that I want to remind everyone of. The debate is about to begin, and we'll have 10 questions, and each candidate will answer the same question. You'll have 90 seconds to answer your questions. All candidates will have that very same question. We've got Bill Fitzgerald here, who's our timekeeper for this evening, and he's going to keep track of you guys. Green is the start, yellow after 60 seconds, and that'll be a 30-second warning, and then red means your time will be up. Candidates may not bring anything on the stage, which includes notes or cell phones. Candidates have been provided 2 pens, a notepad, and a glass of water. And a reminder for the audience to hold your applause until the debate is ended, because you may not like one of them. Who knows? Each candidate will get a closing statement, and that'll be a closing statement of 2 minutes. Yellow light will be after 90 seconds, and that will mean you'll have your 30-second warning. We're going to do our best to stay on time, because I promised Steve I'd get this suit back to the funeral home in the morning. So to get started, I'm going to start with Melissa Hagan, who just happens to be closest to me here. Okay. And the first question is, if elected, what will be your #1 initiative?
My #1 initiative would be job growth. And I think that that is something that's going across Florida and especially right here in Bay County. And that would be my focus. We need an educated workforce in order to attract new industry to this area. And I think that education and job growth go hand in hand. If we have an educated workforce, it's going to attract new industry to come into Bay County, and that's going to bring along job creation. So that would be my #1 issue that I would be working toward.
Thank you. Thelma Rohan, same question. What would be your #1 initiative?
Thank you, Don. My #1 issue won't surprise anybody. It will concern education, because I have served on the school board here in Bay County for 8 years. That was a couple of years ago. But I still have in my gut the desire for our county, for our children to have the absolute best education that we can possibly give them. I don't feel that when the governor allowed Common Core to become part of the Florida plan, that it was going to best serve our children. Common Core, which they renamed Florida Standards, it's a ruse that the federal government has designed, not by itself, but with people who are making money on this. It's a ruse that we are supposed to be very happy with, because we get lots of money to go with it. Now, everybody that's had any experience with school boarding or children or education knows money doesn't solve all the problems. Nor should we be bribed into taking something that is not good for our children and not good for the future of America. Certainly not good for the future of the state of Florida, because going along with Melissa's desire for good jobs, if we don't have a better education system than we have today, and I feel that Common Core is not a better plan for us, then we won't be successful in making those jobs grow and keeping our economy strong.
Thank you. Jay Trumbull, same question. What will be your #1 initiative if elected?
I'd like to take 20 seconds first to just thank Melissa Thompson and her leadership for the Republican Party. Thank you all for being here tonight and for taking time out of your busy schedules to do this. My number one initiative has to be creating an environment, a job-friendly, business-friendly environment for Bay County and for Florida. You know, all too often we have a lot of different areas that extort small businesses. You know, one is way too much regulation. Two are increased taxes and fees. And three is an increase in some frivolous lawsuits. And we have to figure out a way to make this the most business-friendly place in the country. Florida's on the cusp, and I think we're close to doing that. In our small business alone, we have 4 different regulatory agencies that come and inspect our bottled water plant. The frustrating thing is that, you know, these people they do essentially the same thing, and it's just the redundancy after redundancy that puts pressure on small businesses. I'd rather see regulatory agencies come in and facilitate a way to help these people, small businesses, for example, to get to a common goal. Rather than just extorting them on a day-to-day basis. But that's, you know, being able to create an environment that is business-friendly, that one, creates jobs, and two, creates an environment that people want to come move to Bay County and Florida to start a business. Thank you.
So, Bishop, same question. What would be your number one initiative if elected?
Well, I want to echo Jay's thanks to the local party for putting this on. I also want to mention Matt Jackson with the Republican Roundtable and Judy Moore with the Panhandle Women's Federation, which is my favorite Republican club. My number one priority is, I have a buddy. His name's Kevin Ingalls. I went to school with him, one of my best friends. He serves right now as a military medic. He works over in Pensacola, works in military hospitals. If he wants to take those skills that our tax dollars are paid for, that he uses on our military service members, and come back to Panama City and work at Bay Medical or Gulf Coast, he has to take another 2 years of college classes before even qualifying for nursing exam. This is outrageous. Now, I was talking with the head of Kaiser University. They have a wonderful nursing program, and they do a lot of great work with veterans. She told me that while she supported the idea that it's going to be a hard sell in Tallahassee, because there's a lot of special interest groups that keep Florida standards on nursing and medical practitioners very, very restrictive. Now, to me, that's unacceptable. When we have people that need medical service, especially in the age of Obamacare, when we've got people with the skills, especially our military members, who are trying to re-enter public life, then special interests in Tallahassee should not be preventing them from serving in our hospitals. So that was my number one priority that I want to take on. Make it easier for them to join the private sector and to come back home. Thank you.